Yes.
We have 4 screens now. Okay. And Liz Irwin is here. Hi, Liz. And Aaron Brewington. And okay.
64 now.
Jim Bright.
I'd like to say something. Congratulations to Hal Turner for the article in the paper today regarding his great civic efforts to help our community. Thanks, Hal.
Right. Yes.
Thank you.
I'd like to second that as someone who's going to be working at the polls on June 2nd. I'm very grateful to you, Hal.
Thank you.
Our Board of Elections Chair, Hal.
Yeah. The article in the paper was about face shields and face masks and things like that I do with my 3D printing.
Right. We've got it up linked on the Facebook page already.
Oh, really?
I
Thank you.
remember
And
Owen probably did that.
And for those that missed last Thursday night, whatever you call that get together, Hal gave a wonderful presentation there. It just fitted in so nice, and I was so impressed by seeing that in the paper, because there's some other things in the paper today I definitely do not like that I'm upset about, but Hal's being there is not one of them.
Right.
Thank you.
Well, Kate Cruikshank is here, and John Diltz. And Hal, was there some other comment you wanted to make?
I just wanted to say that I think everyone in Rotary could have an article in the paper about the things they do for the community. It's what Rotary is all about, and Rotary is one of the things that inspired me to do it. I think there could be 150 stories for 150 people in Rotary, but thank you very much.
Nice.
Thank you, Hal.
Thank you.
Well, let's get started. We have 66 and probably more to come. So I'd like to, I guess, ring the bell, huh? And I want to welcome everyone to this May 5th, 2020 Bloomington Rotary Club Celebration of Service. I'm the current club president, Aaron Davis, and it's just wonderful to see you all from all over the world, all over Bloomington, Indiana, and other countries. And so wherever you are, thanks for being here. Now, I'd like to introduce Ashley Sullivan, our president-elect, and she will lead the pledge after I ring the bell. The bell has rung.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
I pledge allegiance
to
to
the
the flag
of the
United States
of America
and to the
and to the
republic
republic
for which it
for
stands,
which it
which it
stands,
stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty
liberty
and
and
justice.
justice for all.
Oh,
You may be seated if you're not already. So I would like to share a quote from the 1993-1994 Rotary International President, Robert Barth of Switzerland. Why I am a Rotarian. To strengthen our belief that only with an open mind, an open heart, open eyes, and open hands, we will reach the highest quality of life, we need to be accompanied by like-minded friends in an atmosphere of good humor, serenity, and spontaneous, practical, day-to-day humanity. I love Robert's use of phrasing, but especially practical day-to-day humanity. And Hal just pointed that out, that we all share in this together, that we are serving our community in this practical way. And no better time to highlight that than May, which is Youth Services Month in Rotary. And I want to share a few thoughts, a quick reflection on the way that we use our practical day-to-day humanity to reach the youth of our community. We support aspiring college students in their dreams through scholarships like the 4 we're giving today. They dream of going off to influence medicine, the arts, history, and more with unbounded enthusiasm. But for us today, we're likely just putting a few books in their hands or a few granola bars in their backpacks to help them reach those goals. We support RILA, which celebrates leadership and gives crucial experiences to young people in Southern Indiana through the incredible weekend in October. But it also likely means we're giving a few young people the experience of seeing put together adults let loose and have fun. We support Teachers Warehouse, who tirelessly supplies teachers in our community with the relief of knowing they won't have to buy all the supplies they need out of their own pocket. This is done by simply offering a pencil or a pack of construction paper to be used by kids in local schools. We support Interact in their hopes to become community-minded citizens through international service and local service project dreams by practically providing a sponsor and a few dollars to encourage that their monthly meeting with a snack draws a few students and plants the seeds for future leaders. We support the huge goals of Rotaract to engage other college-age leaders in growing their local and global impact through service by simply offering a listening ear, a sponsor or two to give encouragement, and an official signature to sign documents. But we also provide the opportunity to let our hair down and our humanity show when we confide that we are busy and we're holding together a long list of responsibilities purely with the hope that they will make a difference. I could go on with many, many more examples of the big ways that small acts impact not only our youth, but our whole society. The practical day-to-day humanity we share, especially with those who are learning how to be who they are, is why I am a Rotarian and what continues to make our organization the wonderful force it is today and will continue to be long into the future. Thanks.
Thank you, Ashley. Wonderful. And now I'd like to acknowledge today's greeters, Jim Bright, Michael Shermis, Ashley Sullivan, and Katie Beck, and production supervisor, Ellen Barker. Also roundabout reporter for May, Glenda Murray. So, and thank you, Ellen, for the use of this wonderful Zoom account. Introduction of guests. Jim, who have you spotted? Jim Bright.
We're pleased to have with us today a former member of our club who's joining us from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. And I'm talking about none other than Dr. Raj Hadawi, who was the founder of Raj, great to have you with us. Also, we're pleased to have with us a former member of our team, Pam Martindale. Pam, welcome. We have with us 2 previous scholarship award recipients, I believe, in Bailey Goodlett and Max Irwin. Great to have you both tuning in. Al Feidel, welcome back. Glad you're making good progress. Also, we have with us today Steve Hennefeld. Steve is the, among other things, the president of the Bloomington Press Club, and we're so glad to have you here. Joining us from Tokyo, where it's already Wednesday morning, is Clarice Cross. It's 1:03 in a.m. Wednesday morning in Tokyo. Clarice is a Global Grant Scholar, again, joining us from Tokyo. And Suzanne Owen, wife of the late Rotarian Kent Owen, who we all have such fond memories of. Suzanne, it's good to have you with us here today. Am I missing anybody, any Rotarians, visiting Rotarians? Okay, back to you, Aaron. Thank you.
Okay, Owen, do you have anyone to introduce? Owen Johnson.
Yes, I would like to introduce Rich Jackson, known as the Homeless Editor, who started a blog under that name. Had a story about him in the New York Times today, and the last I looked, he had, I think, 30,000 page reads. So he's gotten a lot of attention. He used to be editor of the Herald Times. Welcome, Rich.
Welcome,
he's been
Rich.
on the phone. He's been on the phone, so he's been muted.
Okay, anyone else we missed? Ashley or Katie? Okay, we have the families and the scholars who will be introduced shortly. Let's see. So I also want to greet those who have not signed into the meeting pictorially, but are still here via phone without video. We may not see you, but your engagement is deeply appreciated. So welcome everyone to Rotary in Bloomington. For the Rotary family, we have some birthdays this week. Art Lotz had a birthday on May 3rd. Megan Thompson, who's with Wonderlab, on May 4th. And today, Judy Schroeder, May 5th.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Judy. And Joy Harder, May 6th. And then Jeff Baldwin, May 7th. And Don Colglazer, May 9th. We don't have any membership anniversaries this week, but we have some Rotarians in the news, and some were already mentioned. We're always in the news, right? Martha Foster, Judy Schroeder, and I were featured in the Sunday HT In Stride special by Connie Shackles on seniors using technology. Today's HT front page features Rotarian Hal Turner, chairman of Monroe County Election Board, and about his creating COVID-19 personal protective equipment with his series of 3D printers. Also, May 4th was an auspicious day in Rotary history. On May 4th, 1987, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that Rotary clubs could no longer exclude women from membership on the basis of gender. So, wow, what an incredibly wonderful day that was. So,
we would not be here. We would not be here were it not for that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and it would be just silly, to conjecture about what could have been. It was happening anyway, but long overdue still. I want to thank you to the Rotary Bloomington, the Bloomington Rotary Foundation, which is our mechanism for providing some of the scholarship funding. And I want to thank those serving on the board. We have nominees for the Bloomington Rotary Foundation's board, and we'll be sending out a SurveyMonkey election email very soon so that you can vote in an uncontested election. And next week we'll have a report on the Bloomington Rotary Foundation by its president, Mike Baker. So the new board of director nominees are Katie Beck, Jim Capshew, Gil Souza, and Sarah Laughlin. And I want to thank all of them for volunteering. Rotary action updates. I'll just mention these briefly, and please check the roundabout for more information. But it is official that our president nominee Sally Gaskell, treasurer-elect Kyla Cox-Deckard, secretary-elect Dave Meyer, and board members-elect Jim Sims and Ron Barnes are officially set to take office July 1st, as well as our president-elect, soon-to-be president, Ashley Sullivan. Our celebration of service last week had over 60 members and guests. Please keep encouraging members who haven't made it to a meeting to join us. And also check on Facebook to make sure that you're not missing anything there. Let's see. Our next Rotary Zoom Cafe is going to be on Thursday again from 7 to 8 p.m. and all members and guests are very welcome to be there. I want to continue to encourage all members to maintain social connection with fellow Rotarians in this club and elsewhere, and all of your friends and relatives and neighbors. These are excellent times for checking in with friends and getting to know new people also. Phone calls, emails should be expected and welcome as we mark the 8th week since we last met in the Georgian room on March 10th. Time goes by, doesn't it? Now for happy dollars. Members and guests, what are you happy about
I have
today?
one, Aaron.
Jim Shea.
Hey, everybody. I'm happy to see Steve Hennefield at our meeting. I'm happy you reminded me, Aaron, that it was 8 weeks since we last met. And after that last meeting, there were a group of 8 Rotarians who sat in on a video about charter schools and vouchers in Indiana.
Yeah.
And they gave some very helpful feedback about that program. Charlotte was there, Jim Bright, Murphy was there. I'm forgetting the entire 8. But it was very helpful to the producers. And Steve Hennefield is one of the people working on that program. So welcome to our meeting, Steve. And some Rotarians hopefully touched your work in just a little bit after our last meeting.
Good.
Thank you, Jim. It was very helpful.
Thank you, Steve. And Charlotte Zitlow.
But yes, I want to give $20 for happy dollars, celebrating that Supreme Court decision. I think it was long, as I say, long overdue, and it's changed Rotary. I know people were worried that it would change it, and it did. It brought a lot of women to the meetings and to the stage, and I think that was really good for Rotary. It kind of made a full community instead of a half of one.
Absolutely. And Liz Irwin.
Liz.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, I know you're happy about something.
I am very happy that my son Max will be joining us here shortly for the call. And I'm also very excited that a good friend and his family, Antonio Hamilton, are on today, and very excited that Antonio is a scholarship recipient. He's very well deserving.
Me too.
Okay, Sally Gaskell.
I'm happy because today is Giving Tuesday, and usually that happens the end of November, but because of the effects of COVID-19 on nonprofit organizations throughout our country, there's a special National Giving Tuesday today. So I encourage all my fellow Rotarians to dig deep and reach out and look at ideally local Bloomington nonprofit organizations, arts and social service agencies, and all the rest, and help them out.
Good.
Very good. Anyone else?
I'm really happy that we have a lot of new graduates coming our way pretty soon. All the IU students who are set to graduate this weekend, obviously not in the setting that they had pictured, but I'm just really, really proud of all of the students who have worked their way through, who have gotten through this semester. At the law school, we have over 200 students who will be graduating this weekend, so I'm just really excited for them and excited to celebrate them.
Thank you, Katie.
Great.
I have a happy dollar in honor of Peter Stevenson, an IU graduate, former editor of the Indiana Daily Student, who shared in a Pulitzer awarded to the Washington Post yesterday.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Can I be happy twice?
Yes, Charlotte.
Okay, I'm really happy that we're celebrating 4 really outstanding young people today. It's just always a pleasure to give this scholarship. And Max Irwin, I was really happy to hear that he might be here, as well as Burley, who was on the board, on the committee too. So we're very lucky. We have great kids in this town, which give me hope for the future. And we're awarding 4 of them scholarships today. Thank you.
And Pam Martindale, did you want to say hi?
Hi, everybody. Jim Bright, thank you for inviting me today and sending me the Zoom link. I always love Scholarship Day, so will be a good boost to my spirits today. So good to see you guys.
And Clarice, how are you doing?
I'm good. I haven't really been able to do much because of everything that's happening, but my classes actually start up online next week, so I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, is it sort of boring,
Yeah,
isolating?
it's actually not as the same as the US. It's kind of a suggested lockdown rather than a hard lockdown. So I've just been kind of on the safer side and staying in and doing runs and just going out for, essential activities. So other than that, I've just been studying more Japanese, even though it's not really required of me, but just reading and doing whatever I can to keep myself busy, I guess.
Okay, well, it's great to have you join us, always.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
And now, well, I do want to say hi to Bill Murphy and several others that I missed. It's Jean Emery and Bill Oates. It's time now to turn this over to Matt Stitzinger. And here we go. Congratulations to our scholarship winners.
Thank you, Aaron. It has been my pleasure to chair the scholarship committee this year. And I want to welcome my dad, Glenn Stitzinger, who is a visiting Rotarian from Hamilton, Ohio. He joined today just to watch the presentation, and he actually chairs, chairs the scholarship committee of his Rotary Club. So it's a pleasure to have him, and my wife is also, Holly is also joining as well. So I want to say hi to them. Before I introduce each of our scholarship recipients, I want to take a few moments to thank our scholarship committee members this year. I want to start by thanking longtime committee chair Byron Bangert. Byron chaired our scholarship committee for many years, did an outstanding job, and most importantly to me has been incredibly helpful in my first year as chair of the committee, and I really, truly could not have done it without Byron's assistance. So thank you, Byron. In addition to Byron, I would like to thank the other members of our scholarship committee, Marty Donnelly, Hank Heichema, Hank Walter, and Charlotte Zitlow. It was really enjoyable to serve with each one of you this year, and we had a great deal of fun together. Thank you again for your service. I would also like to thank Michael Shermis and Alan Barker. Both Michael and Alan were extremely helpful in coordinating our Zoom interview sessions with our students. I would also like to thank Glenda Murray for her help in sharing the history of awarding scholarships from our club, which I will share with you shortly. Finally, I would like to thank Natalie Blaze and Aaron Davis. You both have been extremely helpful in getting me prepared for this meeting, and I appreciate it greatly. Glenda shared with me that the Bloomington Rotary Club began awarding scholarships in 1967. There were 3 recipients in our inaugural class, and they each received a $150 scholarship. My times have changed. Since that time, our club has continued to award scholarships to deserving area high school students. This year, we will have 4 recipients who will each receive a $1,500 scholarship from our club. I will introduce each of our recipients in alphabetical order, starting with Joy Bhattacharya. Joy is a senior at Bloomington North High School. During her time at North, Joy has served as captain of the Science Olympiad team and captain of the Drone Club team. She is president of the National Honor Society and has also been the #1 singles player on the varsity tennis team for the last 2 years, receiving the Maroon Award for mental toughness. In the community, Joy volunteered 250 hours for Global Gifts, a local fair trade store that treats and pays global artisans fairly for their products. In addition, Joy also volunteers at Wonder Lab, where she serves as the discovery coach. This fall, Joy will attend MIT and major in engineering. Joy is joined today by her mom, Gypsy Sarah, her grandmother, Heidi Sarah, and her guidance counselor, Kathleen Rillo. It is my pleasure to introduce Joy Bhattacharya to you. Joy?
Hi everyone. First of all, I'd like to start by saying thank you for giving me this scholarship. It's been a huge honor. I'd also like to thank my family. This is my mom, and this is my grandmother over here, and my guidance counselor, and just everyone who's supported me these past few years. I wouldn't be the person that I am today without them, so I'd like to say thank you again. Just to get into a little bit more about myself, thank you, Matt, for that lovely introduction. I am a senior at Bloomington High School North, or at least I will be until this Thursday, so yeah. I would like to say that through all the activities I've done, my underlying motivation has been to live up to my name, which is joy, as you probably know by now. One way that I strive to bring joy to other people is by making their world a better place. So luckily, this pursuit involves passions that bring me joy, like problem solving, engineering, and data analysis. My dream is to apply data science to civil and environmental engineering so that I can decipher the puzzles of wide-ranging data sets to create truly effective environmental solutions. And like Matt said, I'm planning to attend MIT in the fall to pursue that academic path where I hope to gain the tools to better engage with and thus reverse the reality of climate change. But outside of this aspiration, I'm also motivated to bring a little joy to the tennis courts. On the court, I'm like a wall. I'm the kind of player who just chases down and returns every shot. And I know that means I'm probably not a joy for my opponents to face. But I like to think that I play with a certain grit and resilience that puts on an enjoyable show for anyone watching me. In school, I also participated in extracurriculars like Science Olympiad, Drone Club, and the Girls in Engineering, Math, and Science, or GEMS Club. In those clubs, I found my joy, and I was able to better engage with STEM through hands-on application of these science principles. For example, for the past 6 years, I've been building balsa wood bridges and towers for Science Olympia. I know my mom can tell you she's not the biggest fan. It creates a big mess in our living room. But anyway, I came to really enjoy not only the building process with that, but also just the design applications, the strategy, and the revision that's necessary to really make a successful bridge or tower. And I think it's safe to say that through Science Olympiad, I came to realize that what I really wanted to do was become an engineer. And going along that, I'd say that GEMS Club also empowered me in this way because it connected me with a network of female scientists, entrepreneurs, and engineers who reinforced the idea that women do belong in STEM. And I try myself to spread that message by volunteering throughout the community with GEMS Club at different science festivals like Birdfest or at the annual GEMS Day for 5th grade girls, so that I can also empower younger generations by sharing my own passion for STEM. I also volunteer regularly at Global Gifts, which is a fair trade store, and the Wonder Lab, which is a children's science museum here in town. Just from promoting the crafts of global artisans to interacting with excited young kids, as their eyes light up with the thrill of discovery, I've really found out that I can spread joy by giving back to the community. And those experiences have further inspired me to become an engineer so that I can live my life in service to a community that's already given me so much. Whether it's my career aspirations, my extracurriculars, or tennis, or volunteering, I do find myself busy with a lot of passions and activities, and yet through them, I found a way to live up to my name by bringing joy to everything I do, literally. So thank you.
Thank you, Joy, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Our next scholarship recipient is Omar El Hanifi. Omar is a senior at North, where he served as captain of the Academic Super Bowl and captain of the Science Olympiad team. Omar is also a member of the German National Honor Society and the National Honor Society. In the community, Omar volunteered at the Spot Veterinary Clinic, cleaning tools and doing other tasks for this nonprofit organization. Omar also volunteered for Habitat for Humanity and was a Sunday school teacher at Bliss Islamic. This fall, Omar will attend the University of Southern Indiana to study religion and history with the ultimate goal of becoming a doctor. Omar is joined today by his teacher, Dan Henry. It is my pleasure to introduce Omar El Hanifi to you. Omar?
Hello, hello. I hope my mic works because there's been a lot of issues with me being on Zoom and my mic doesn't work. But I thank you so much for this scholarship and I really appreciate it. It is an honor. And I sort of wanted to talk more because I did see some surprised faces about the whole majoring in history and becoming a doctor thing. So right now, took me a really long time to decide what I wanted to major in, because there seems to be a huge influx of current bio majors for people who want to become doctors. A lot of people becoming bio majors, and I did read a lot of posts and they said, no, don't be a bio major because there's a lot of votes already. There's like millions. And I did see that myself at orientations. Whenever they call all bio majors, please stand up. There's like, whoa, that's a lot. So I wanted to do something that I enjoyed. And I've always found that I really enjoy history, studying about cultures and how those cultures evolved to what they became today, and how the past have made solutions and figured out solutions to problems that we are still facing today. So I really enjoy studying that stuff. As he said, one of my favorite things was becoming a Bliss Islamic School Sunday School teacher, and just working with a mosque in general. I can really say how much I miss that right now, because there was no mosque for like 3 months now, and it's now Ramadan, which is usually like sit at the mosque for almost all my time during this month, but here we are, there's no mosque. I really enjoy talking to, I feel like the mosque community here in Bloomington especially is so diverse, but yet so connected, so tied up, like a really tight knot. No matter how much you try to break it, it will never break. And I really, really like that. It always makes me feel like if I need support from anybody, I always have that support there. I enjoy, as I said earlier in my interview, I really enjoy teaching Sunday school children because I can learn a lot from them. Not only teach them, but they're really intelligent. You wouldn't think children like 5th graders and 4th graders would be that intelligent, but they are. And they sometimes provide really valuable insight that you have not come up with. So that's why I really enjoy it. I also enjoyed volunteering for Habitat for Humanity, because I feel it's a really interesting volunteering like goal to provide housing for people who don't have housing by building housing for them rather than provide the money, which most organizations do. And I like it because it not only helps the people, the people who need houses to have houses. I like it because it also builds a community along with it. It helps build strong relations. You get to know people by building houses with them. I know that I have made better friends and by volunteering for Habitat for Humanity. So I greatly appreciate that sort of organization is there. As long as same with Joy, I like to do Science Olympia and Academic Super Bowl for the reasons, because you not only get to learn stuff, but you also learn some valuable things that you can then use in other aspects of your life. I know that for Academic Super Bowl, it was really hard for me at first because I had to decide the final answer myself to every question we were asked. And sometimes I had 2 other people with me that I disagreed with. So it would sometimes be like, oh, should I go what they want? Or should I just do what I want? What if they get offended if I chose this answer? But what if they're also wrong? So there's just like a very mental, it's a mental battle, whether to sometimes choose your answer or their answers. And I had to sort of learn when I had the confidence, when I had this sort of initiative, the intuition to answer my own answer, and when did I feel like, all right, maybe they're the ones who are right and maybe I'm wrong. It's still very hard, and I still mess up with it, but that's why I did it, to learn how to do it. I can't say that my teammates have never been salty because I did not go with their answers, but I really it's a hard task. And also I just gain a lot of valuable friends. I always think that I mean, they're not the most leader type of positions, but I do slowly learn what it means to become a leader by doing those extracurriculars. Lastly, what I want to say is again, thank you. This is a great cause, because at the end of the day, scholarship not only helps, just with the money, but I say it also helps, reduce stress that people might have over how much debt they have. And it makes the student more focused on helping the community and on their education and on providing good works for the future.
Thank you, Omar, and congratulations. Our next scholarship recipient is Antonio Hamilton. Antonio is a senior at North, where he served as a 4-year member and 2-year captain of the varsity swim team. While on the team, Antonio won the Mental Attitude Award in 2019 and 2020 and competed at the state meet as a member of 2 relay teams. Antonio is also a jazz band member as well as a member of the National Honor Society. In the community, Antonio has volunteered with Habitat for Humanity since 2017, the Riley Dance Marathon since 2017, and each Christmas Day, Antonio and his family volunteer at the community kitchen of Monroe County. This fall, Antonio will attend St. Louis University, where he will study aerospace and mechanical engineering. Antonio is joined today by his parents, Jason and Maria Hamilton, his teachers, Don Adams and Ding Perdome, and his swim coach and past recipient of our scholarship, Max Irwin. Ladies and gentlemen, my pleasure to introduce you to Antonio Hamilton. Antonio?
Hello, everyone. First, I'd like to thank you for awarding me with this scholarship and for inviting me, my family, and my teachers, and Max, which I at first was not sure if he was going to be on this meeting, but I am happy he is. So I was drawn to the Bloomington Rotary Club and its mission because service to others has always been an important part of my life. All the members of my family have taught me to work hard and have shown me that it is important to give back to your community. My grandparents, Susie Hamilton and the late David Hamilton, have served the Bloomington community for years. My papa was a local firefighter and deputy chief, served on the county council, and was a very active member on the North Side Exchange Club. I have fond memories of seeing him work at the fish fries when I was a little boy and watching him walk by in the 4th of July parade. And my granny still serves on the Perry Township Board and is a very active volunteer for the Red Cross Book Drive and various service projects at her church. During high school, I've been part of the Cougar Leader Program, which helps mentor new freshmen and helps them adjust to high school so they can have a positive, successful experience. I've been a part of Habitat for Humanity since my sophomore year. I really enjoy the physical labor and getting to know the families that are receiving the Habitat House. Riley Dance Marathon is the other program I'm heavily involved in. Every year, the club tries to raise as much money as possible for Riley Hospital for Children. Last year, we had our best year, raising over $160,000. This year, despite everything being virtual, we still managed to raise over $130,000. Like Mr. Stitzinger said, a service project my family does every year on Christmas Day is serve food at the community kitchen. I usually get put on dish cleaning duty and have direct contact with the clients. I really enjoy interacting with them and wishing them a Merry Christmas when they bring me their dirty trays and dishes. It really feels good to help others on a special holiday. I am very grateful for all the fantastic opportunities that I have had in high school. I have had lots of support from my family and teachers. I'm very happy that Mr. Adams and Mr. Perdome are able to be here today because they have been my biggest mentors at school. And equally as important, I'm very happy that Max Irwin is able to join me. He's been a fantastic swim coach to me and has done a lot for me in my life. Next year, I plan to study mechanical and aerospace engineering at St. Louis University. It is a Jesuit university which encourages students to become well-rounded people and contribute to the greater good and serve others. I plan to continue to serve my new community in St. Louis by joining Habitat for Humanity at St. Louis University. So once again, I'd like to thank you all very much for having me and awarding me this award. Thank you.
Thank you, Antonio, and congratulations. Our excuse me. Sorry. Our final scholarship recipient is Colby Wicker. Colby is a senior at Edgewood High School. At Edgewood, Colby is president of the National Honor Society, president of the Key Club, and president of the French Honor Society. Colby also serves as drum major for the Edgewood Marching Mustangs. In the community, Colby is the sound ministry supervisor at the Family Life Church, where he volunteers over 200 hours a year. Colby also volunteers 225 hours per semester as an intern for the Van Buren Township Trustee, where he assists the trustee in day-to-day operations. The experience has helped fuel Colby's passion for politics. And this fall, Colby will attend Indiana University, where he will double major in political science and American history. Colby plans to attend law school after graduating from IU and plans to stay actively involved in politics throughout his life. Colby is joined today by his mom, Susan Wicker, his pastor, Rick Whiteman, and two of his teachers at Edgewood, Nancy Van Allen and Kyle Winkler. Ladies and gentlemen, Colby Wicker.
Hi there, everybody. First off, I just want to thank you for awarding me this scholarship. It truly is a very, very big honor, and I really do appreciate it. I think Omar hit on something very important about the stress factor of going to school. And for someone like me who's trying to get through the college experience with minimal or no debt, having a scholarship like this ensures that I'll have extra time on my hands to go out and serve the community instead of working my job, because if I'm dedicated to get out of college without any debt, then that's what I need to spend my time doing. But with scholarships like this, I can spend my time serving the community. So I really, really do appreciate it. And before I get too far along, I really wanted to thank my guests for being here with me. But above all else, I really want to thank my mom, who's in the kitchen right now watching this. And she truly is one of my biggest inspirations, and she's my biggest fan, certainly. And I certainly wouldn't be able to do all the things I do without her. So I really do appreciate her. But anyway, let's get going. I don't know how well you guys can see these, but I have a little key ring with 6 pennies on them, and I sort of wanted to tell you guys what those mean to me, and spend a couple minutes talking about those. And I'll get to them in a minute, I promise. But first, I wanted to talk to you all about my time being an Edgewood Marching Mustang, which I was the drum major of this year, as Matt said. And so let's go back to the very, very beginning. Before I started marching band, I could barely walk and chew gum at the same time, let alone play an instrument or run around a football field while playing an instrument at the same time. That just seemed absolutely bizarre to me. But with the help of my band director and a dedicated staff and a caring group of upperclassmen, juniors, and seniors who took me under their wings, I slowly, and I mean pretty slowly, started to get the hang of the activity. I remember my first marching band practice that no one had to correct me, that I hadn't done anything wrong, and I was absolutely ecstatic. That was one of my favorite moments of that year. And as I got better, the band as a whole also began to get a lot better. And we were one of the top 10 bands in our class for the state, so we qualified to go to the state finals. And I remember a lot about that day. I remember getting to the school at 4 a.m. to start practice, and I remember how cold it was. Everybody was wearing like 3 or 4 layers of pants. It was crazy. And I remember having our last practice, and I remember the bus ride up to Lucas Oil Stadium, and I remember performing. And I remember exiting the field with my friends with a big smile on my face. But my most important memory of the day, and perhaps even the most important moment as my career as a marching Mustang took place 20 minutes before we left the school that day, probably at 5:30 in the morning. My band director brought us all into the band room, and he pulled out 1 penny and he held it up, and he said, 1 penny doesn't really hold a lot of value in today's society. You can't buy even a gumball with a penny anymore. But he says, when you bring lots of them together, when you bring 100 of them together, you get $1. And the dollar is the cornerstone of the American economy and the world economy. And he said, I want this to serve as an analogy for all of you. And he said, when one person can do some good, but they can't do as much as when you bring all of these people together. He said, if we have one person out there playing their instrument on the football field, they just look like a maniac. But when you have 100 of them out there doing it at the same time, you get to do something that's very, very cool. And he said you can never do something like that on your own. And so from this, I've drawn many lessons, not the least of which is that I want to change the world. And if I want to do that, then I have to do that with the help of friends and family and loved ones and colleagues, because you can't do anything very meaningful all on your own. And so after all this, and I'm sorry, to bring everything back around, I'd really like to remind you guys all of my pennies, and let them serve as a reminder to you that every day, that if you want to do something meaningful with your life, you need to have other people around you who are also going towards a common goal. And I'd like to leave you with one of my favorite quotes from a woman named Margaret Mead. She said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." So thank you all very, very much. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, Colby, and congratulations. I would like to wish a final congratulations again to Joy, Omar, Antonio, and Colby on earning the Bloomington Rotary Scholarship for 2020. Let's all give our recipients a round of applause. And now I'd like to turn it over to members of our club. If you have any questions of our fine scholarship recipients, feel free to ask them.
I have a question for Joy. Joy, I've never heard of the GEMS Club, and I'm interested in how you feel it affected your life, and kind of tell us a little bit more about it and what it has done for you.
Sure. So I know my freshman year, there was a GEMS conference in the spring for 5th and 6th grade girls. And I always volunteered at that, but I noticed, we do have this thing for elementary school girls, which is great. It's great to start from a young age to teach young girls that they do belong in STEM. But there really wasn't any opportunity for high school girls. So I decided my junior year that I was going to start a GEMS club in my high school. And what we do in our GEMS club is every week we bring in a female speaker, either from IU, from Cook, or from around the community. And they talk about their career, they answer our questions about life, how to handle workplace challenges, that kind of thing. And they also just, they reinforce this idea that women do belong in STEM, and they should give us role models who we can aspire to be like, and show us that, we're not alone in this struggle. But GEMS also volunteers throughout the community, such as at Bird Festival, where we taught a lesson on natural selection in finches. We actually made like a Hungry Hippo games with different bird beaks to teach how different beaks are better at acquiring different types of foods, that kind of thing. So yes, we volunteer, we bring in mentors like that, and we also teach different science lessons. So a big part of GEMS right now is we're doing a Girls Go Cyber Start competition, which is basically different fun coding challenges and cybersecurity challenges online. And we're competing in the national competition right now. We're doing pretty well. So I would say that GEMS has made a huge impact on my life, just putting me in touch with this support group so that I know that, I'm never alone. And also I think it's helped inspire other young girls, maybe if they didn't know what they wanted to go into. It's provided them a place to explore these different career options that, they might have been turned away from otherwise.
Thank you, Joy.
Thank you.
I have a question to Antonio and to Joy. What did you get out of the experience of competing in sports?
Well, I've been part of the swim team for 4 years, and I can say that a huge part of me being part of that team is the culture and the family that you create on the swim team. I've been swimming with my senior friends for 4 years, and we fight through everything together. So every practice, every meet, every state level competition, I think I do sports because of that group and what we can accomplish together as a family.
Yes, I agree with what Antonia is saying. A big part of tennis is knowing that you have all these other girls out there supporting you. But for me, what's been the most impactful part of playing sports is actually how it's improved my mental endurance and my mental strategy. I think it's made me a much tougher person in character. It's taught me how to fight. As you know, you don't always want to be on that tennis court for 3 or 4 hours, but you have to do what you have to do. You know, you're not always going to be better than your opponent, but you have to play the mental game as well as the physical game. So that's really taught me the importance of just outlasting and enduring and being perseverant.
Jim Bright.
I guess my question could be directed to any of these wonderful students, but since Joy and Antonio have talked, I guess I would direct it to Omar and Colby. Class of 2020 is going to be remembered for a lot of things, including through no fault of your own, as the class whose senior year was cut short in the classroom. What are your thoughts on that? First of all, Omar, and what have you done to make the best of a bad situation?
Yeah, it's a lot of things that I've heard. It's definitely a notion, an idea that I heard from a lot of people. My teachers say that a lot. And what I think is I mean, I think that, first of all, I think I talked about this in my interview, but I might have not. I think this whole situation is an opportunity for us as a nation to be more ready when another situation like this occurs in the future. I think we'll now do a better job for future epidemics, and that we will be able to minimize the damage that those future epidemics will cause. It's just that we might have not been as ready as we could have been for this one, so we are seeing a lot of damage being caused. I think that I mean, yeah, it's kind of bad that, you know, senior year is ending early. That March 12th, my birthday, was the last day that I saw a lot of students that I may never see again. That's kind of sad for me to think about, that the Thursday before break was, you know, the last day that I would have seen many people if we don't come back during the summer one day to, you know, have a regathering. But I do think that this is also an opportunity for us to do things that we never really had time to do. I know that I've been biking more, and that I've been spending time playing with my brother more, who's 4 years old, by the way. So I'm trying to build a strong relationship with him, and I still think that friends should still talk to each other via something like Zoom or voice chat or whatever. I don't think that friendships should be lost at all. And I think that for schooling, yeah, online school wasn't particularly as great as it would be in person, but I still think that there's a lot of opportunity to read more. You can still study for things that you want to study for. I know some students still competed for Academic Super Bowl, just an individual competition, because they made it to yesterday, I think. Now 2 days ago they competed for Academic Super Bowl, so that was great to hear. Right now for me, it's Ramadan, so I'm enjoying my last Ramadan with my family a lot more, because I have a lot more time with them than I usually have, so that's great. But I think that patience and perseverance are two things that will get us out of a situation, and also making the most of what we have will also get us out of a situation. We might have to wait. I don't know how long it will be, but hopefully it's not a long wait. Patience has always been the answer in my life. Unless I can do something to change the situation, but in this situation I can't. So I just have to wait and see what will happen in the future.
Thank you, Colby.
Yeah, so I think it's important to remember during this time, especially for seniors, it really seems like it's that's a really big deal, and that's really unfortunate, and it is really unfortunate. But I think it's helpful, at least for me, to look at the bigger picture in thinking that this is not like the worst situation that someone has stumbled upon because of this pandemic, and not being able to go to high school like I would for my last year, and not being able to go through my last 9 weeks with my friends is certainly not the biggest tragedy that has come along. So I sort of like to look in the bigger picture. And as for the second part of your question about how am I trying to make the best of it, I sort of think it's everybody's duty during this time when we have all this extra time on our, just when we're at home, is to make ourselves better people and better citizens and more informed people. So whenever it's time that we can all go back to our normal lives, that we're more prepared and we're better for this time that we've had to stay at home. I think it would be very unwise to just waste this time when you're sitting at home when you could be bettering yourself. So I've been trying to do that.
Thank you. Well said.
Thank you. Well, it's about time to start wrapping up the meeting, but if anyone would like to stay afterwards for more conversation, questions, please do. It'll just take a minute to wrap this up, and then we can continue the discussion. It's been an honor to have these 4 scholarship winners here, wonderful students. Thank you so much. You honor us, and our honoring you is minor compared to the importance that you're bringing to the future and even to our club now. So thank you for the joy that you bring to us. So let's see. Oh, I'd like to first say that in honor of today's celebration of service, we're going to provide this quarter's local charity donation, which goes to Centerstone, a United Way agency. And Ashley Sullivan will be kind enough to tell us about next week's celebration.
Yeah, our next celebration of service will be May 12th on Zoom. And our program will be presentations on the professional journeys from Jim Sims and Tina Swanson. We'll also be hearing about the Bloomington Rotary Foundation, which is the source of most of our funding for the scholarships today. So something to look forward to.
Thank you, Ashley. My thought of the week is education is not filling a pail, but the lighting of a fire. It's from William Butler Yeats. And now if you will rise or sit, be seated. Join me for the 4-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, be beneficial to all concerned. And fifth, is it fun? Okay. And Jim Sims, I don't think I got to say hello to you yet.
Hello.
Hi, Jim.
Hello, everyone.
Wow. What a great meeting. What a great time.
Congratulations to all. What an amazing meeting.
Yes.
A shout out to the committee doing an outstanding job. These 4 youth really represent our community, and it's a wonderful representation.
Yeah. Thank you, the committee, and chaired by Matt Stitzinger. Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron. It's been my pleasure. I've really enjoyed it.
Great job.
Could we have an update on the baby situation, Matt?
Yeah, we go to the doctor on Thursday morning, and that'll be 39 weeks for us. So they're planning on doing an ultrasound then, and then hopefully we'll get a little more clarity on when they think he might be coming. So fingers crossed everything is going well. And I know